Remember, you want people to be able to repeat what you say, to refer others to you.
I understand half of what she says.
Get your questions answered by Deb and Jen.
Deb and Jen are at it again.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Welcome to the Deb and Jen Show. I'm Coach Deb. So happy to have you here today. Can't believe it's 2024. Never know how that happens year to year. They seem to go by faster and faster. So excited to have you here. Coach Jen got pulled away today last minute, so it's just me today. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects. And I invite your questions here as well, which is how do you talk to people about what you do? People often call this the elevator speech or the elevator pitch because they say, imagine you're in an elevator, you push the button to go down and someone else gets on and they ask you what you do. You have the elevator ride to try to explain it to them in a way that's compelling, gets their attention, and wants them to know more. So presumably that's around 30 seconds. Well, I was at a networking event yesterday. You guys still going to networking events or have you started going again? And at this networking event, people have a couple of different opportunities to explain what they do. So you know how you're at a networking event and you're listening to people talk about their business and you're like, ooh, I don't know. That doesn't sound very captivating or very compelling. Or, gee, I'm not really sure what they do, even after I've heard them speak. Well, I have a simple 3-step formula that can get you out of that dilemma and out of that fog so that every time you share what you do, people are not only captivated, but they're clear about the transformation that you provide or can provide, that you're the expert in this area, and they will lean in and want to know more, ask for your card, or set up an appointment. Now, what did I just do? I actually walked through my 3-step formula that I'm going to teach you today, a simple 3-step formula where you can easily share with others what you do. Okay, you ready to get started? It's very simple. And if you use the acronym PAR, it will help you remember what the 3-step formula is. P is for problems. You can also think of them as pains. Are there certain pains that you solve for people? People refer to their situations different ways: challenges, pains, issues, problems. So often, too often, I go to events and I say to people, well, what are the top 3 problems that you solve? And they look at me like a deer in the headlights. I'm not sure. People, you got to be sure. You got to know what problems you're solving. What are the dilemmas, the challenges? Let's say you're standing in line at Starbucks and you're waiting to put your order in. And to the left of you or the right of you is your ideal client kvetching, complaining, going off about what's not working in their life. You lean in a little closer to listen. How are they describing what's not working? Their problem, their challenge. They might be also talking about what they want instead. But take a clue from that. You should absolutely know what problems that you solve. Okay, so that's the first thing. Make a list of the problems that you solve, the challenges, the issues. It's probably going to be in the area of money and career, in the area of health and well-being, or in the area of relationships. It's going to be in one of those 3 areas. And let's say a problem that you solve is people's fear of public speaking. Great. What might also come under that heading? I have a fear of public speaking. So what problems does that create for you? Well, I don't really seek out opportunities to speak in public, even though I know that that's the fastest way for me to get in front of my audience and have them see who I am and experience what I can do for them. Okay, so what problems does that cause? Well, my business isn't really growing as fast as it could. Fantastic. Now you've got a list of problems that you solve in your area of expertise. Let's say you're a dating coach. What are the problems that you solve? Well, I haven't been on the dating scene for a long time, and I've lost touch with what people are doing these days. Great. What else? I want to try the online dating thing, but I just don't know how it works or what to say. I know that everybody puts up pictures that are 20 years old. What should I do? Great. That's another problem that you solve, right? Come up with a list of problems that you solve so that people are clear on who you are and what you can do for them. All right. That's step number 1. Pain. P. Pains, problems, challenges, issues, concerns that you solve for your target audience. Can you solve everyone's problems? No, you can't. But you can solve the problems of the people that you're working with. All right. Step number 2 is A. So we're spelling P-A-R, A. What's your antidote to those problems? In other words, what's your solution? When I started at the beginning, I stated the problem was, when you go to a networking meeting and you get all tongue-tied and you don't know what to say and you just blabber on and people have that glazed look in their eyes. No one ever asks you for your card. Okay, that's a problem, right? I have a simple 3-step formula that makes it easy for you to state clearly what you do, why it matters, so that people are drawn in and want to learn more. Okay, that's a solution. That's the antidote. And I added the actual last step, but I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. Let's stick with A for antidote, which is what is your solution to that problem? All right, I have let's say you're a relationship and dating coach. I have a foolproof system that will get you back in the dating scene in just 6 weeks, feeling confident, sexy, and sassy. Okay, that's your solution. Now, the result is the next step, but let's just stick with the solution. Okay, so step number 2, what is the solution that you bring? You don't need to be clever here. You want to be clear. So clear that people can remember what you said and tell someone else about it. If you go on and on and on, people are never going to be able to reiterate what you said. Okay, so make it clear and it'll be more compelling. There's a phrase we like to use in the marketing world, which is clear is better than clever. Clear is better than clever. Okay. All right, we've got 2 steps of the 3-step formula. We've got P for problems, pains, issues, etc. And we've got A for antidote, which is my clever way of just saying solution because PSR didn't work very well. So we got PAR, antidote, your solution. What do you bring to the table? What makes you different, unique? And don't just say, I'm a life coach. Please, for God's sakes, don't say that.
I'm a life coach.
Okay. You're a specific kind of life coach that has a specific kind of solution. Okay. And if you don't know what that is, or you haven't yet curated it, come up with it. You have a certain area of expertise. You've been doing your work for a while. So take a step back, look at it and say, you know what? I really do. I have this process or this system or this framework that makes it easy or shortens the learning curve or demystifies or whatever it is. And that's your solution. Okay. That's your antidote to the problems that people are going to be approaching you with. Make sense? Okay, great. All right. Now, P-A, 1, 2, 3, R, P-A-R, results. What are the results that you bring? Let's say this is your target market. Are you a woman over 40 who wants to get back on the dating scene? Maybe you're recently divorced or widowed, but you just don't know how to do it, how to go about it, and how to find the right partner. I have a simple 6-week program, or I have a foolproof 6-week program that teaches you everything you need to know to confidently get back out there in the dating world so that, here comes the result, and this is a great way to figure out what is your result, so that you can find and attract the perfect right partner that is in line with your values and what matters most to you in life. And so you can enjoy intimate relationships once again. Okay, so how do you come up with your result? It's the outcome that you create through your solution. What is the outcome you create? We talked about somebody whose expertise may be helping people who are afraid of public speaking. So the outcome you create may be, after your solution, so that the next time you're invited to speak before a group, you can stand up confidently and without hesitation and share your expertise in a way that is that positions you as an expert and has people wanting to learn more about what you do and what you can do for them. All right. So that is the simple 3-step formula. Sounds simple. I invite you to practice it, to brainstorm the P, the A, the R. What are your problems, pains, challenges, issues that you help people resolve? It could be your problem is spiritual confusion. That you're an expert at helping people get regrounded spiritually so that every day they have a practice and a way to be centered and regain balance should they get put off their mark during the day. Okay. Whatever your work is, you want to know the problems that you solve, the solution that you bring, and the results that you create. All right, I see we have a couple of people in the chat and a couple other people who I can see here on screen. Hi, Kat. Hi, Sarah. And welcome to the call. And I just want to know if this is helpful. Just raise your hand if you think that this is helpful, having a formula like this to know how do you talk about what you do in a very simple, straightforward, clear way. Now, here's what happens. People come up with, use the formula and try to get clever, and it doubles in size.
And it will just grow and grow.
All of a sudden, what was clear and straightforward becomes lengthy and cumbersome. Remember, you want people to be able to repeat what you say, to refer others to you. I was just talking to this woman, Kat, like, let's see, wait a minute, what does she do again? Something around spirituality, business or something. I'm not sure.
It involves more vodka than you'd think.
That's not the reaction we want to get when people are talking about us, right? I talked to this gal, Kat. She was so on fire. It was clear that she can take anybody who feels spiritually confused, reground them, and point them in the right direction according to what matters to them spiritually, according to their own intrinsic values. So that each and every day when they get up and start their work or start their day, they are imperturbable. They are on track. They are feeling alive and on point, whatever that is, okay?
You gave me a new lease on life.
And then people will be able to remember what you do. So don't come up with a simple thing and then double it in size. And here's why. Because if people are truly interested, they're going to say something like, wow, that's really interesting. Tell me more.
Tell me more.
And then that's your opportunity to share more. Now, you could go on and talk about yourself, or if you find yourself in this situation, here's a little secret tip. Ask them a question. Well, I'd love to know more about how this shows up for you. Are you in this arena where you're having this situation, this challenge, this whatever? Share more about that with me. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to ask them to share more when they told you to tell you more? Because before you tell them more, if you listen to a little bit about what they're saying, what matters to them, or what they're facing, when you answer them with more info, you now can put it in the context of what matters to them. You now can answer in a way that includes what they said. Can you see how that would be much more powerful? Because now they feel like you're speaking directly to them. Now they realize that your expertise can clearly help their situation, their problem. Okay? Remember, all of us, at some level or another, are in the transformation business. We help people go from where they are to where they want to be, right? So they might be here and they really wish they were here. They're single and not dating. They wish they were dating and could find their perfect partner. They're afraid of speaking out in public. Oh, they wish I could just step up in front of a group of people and be positive and confident, right? So problem, this is what they want, the outcome. Your solution, dun, da, 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 is the bridge they walk over to get there, right? So it's problem, P. Your solution is the A, the antidote, the bridge they walk over to get to where they want to be, the outcome that they truly want, the transformation that they crave. All right. So we're all transformational experts, so to speak. And you want to remember, here's where they are. You want to be able to define that clearly and help them see that clearly. And you want to know where they want to go. And so you can make that bridge really powerful, describe it in a powerful way so that they know that they can get there. Is that helpful? Just give me a thumbs up if that's helpful. All right. One thing I want to add to that, which is kind of like the secret sauce, and I promised that I would do this when I posted in Facebook, is when you've got your formula down, you're trying it out, what you want to finesse, like level 2, would be trying to use your ideal clients, your target market's language. What words do they actually use? And you're thinking, well, why does that matter? Because when they hear you speak their language, they lean in and self-identify.
Now you're talking my language.
Just yesterday, someone said, so I am, she was sharing what she does. I can help you. Are you someone who wants to get organized, or are you someone who could really see their house being organized and being easier to get through your day. It wasn't very compelling. It wasn't very clear, and it certainly wasn't in the client's language. Okay. So I suggested she start out with something like, here's the problem, right? Is the beginning of every day in your house chaotic? Kids running around trying to find things. You can't find your keys. The kids' backpacks are all over the place. Homework is in 1,000 different places, and you can't really get out of the house on time. All right. Now, does that sound more like what their household's like? Then do you wish you were more organized?
If only we could be more organized.
Yes, she wishes she was more organized, but she doesn't know how to get there. Otherwise, she would have done it already. Okay. So the next question might be, do you yearn to have a simple system or process where you move from chaos to calm? So every morning starts out on an even keel and no one's running around with their hair on fire. Now, however, the people are talking about their problems, that's how you want to present them. You want to use their language to the degree that you can. And the second tip of this is try to be visceral. Try to be emotional about it. Because most people are emotionally concerned with whatever their issue is. And if we can add that element to how we're talking about what we're doing, like, would you rather not be running around your house with everyone's hair on fire? Like make it not only visual, but visceral. Okay. Because that will help them lean in as well, right? Instead of just talking about it, you're talking from it. Okay. So clear is better than clever. Straightforward, without meandering too much. Remember, this is just a simple statement that gets people wanting to lean in and know more, and using your audience's language. Pretend you're at Starbucks and you're listening to them talking about their situation and what they really want. Get to know your audience's language. Here's another tip. How do I get to know my audience's language? What I really care about? Well, one thing you can do is go to Amazon, look for books that are in the area of the problems that you solve, and look at the ones that are doing well, and go down to the reviews and look at what they're saying about how this book, changed their life. That will give you your client's language. Okay. So, are you stealing it? Yeah, you are, because it matters. Anytime you can get someone to say yes in their head, like, yes, oh my gosh, that's me. She totally gets me. Oh, he totally understands my situation. He helped me realize blah, blah, blah.
We're like twins, we are, except I don't like pizza as much as she does.
Look at what they're saying about these books, what they did for them, if this is your area of expertise.
This book changed my whole life.
Because you want to be able to provide similar solutions and talk in a way that appeals to them. They're writing their review from their point of view, which means they're using their language.
We even have our own special language.
This is a brilliant tip, something you can do anytime, anywhere, no matter what your niche is, and to easily hone in on your audience's situation. Anyone has a question about this, or if you want to go on the hot seat and try out, we have a few minutes here. Anybody wants to go on the hot seat and try out the formula? I see Kat has her hand raised. You want to try out the formula? You got your P, problem you solve. It could be a pain, an issue, a challenge, whatever. We call it a P for problem. A, the antidote that you bring, the solution. I use the A for antidote because, I was trying to be clever so I can spell P-A-R rather than P-S-R, which doesn't mean anything.
That's hard.
All right, and the R, the result or the outcome that you create for people. Okay, so Kat, you want to give it a go? Let's see how you do.
And I hopped on right after you talked about the antidote, so I'm not too sure what that means, but
Your solution.
like okay. You mean like
what's your
products, the
solution?
service?
Yep.
So I help executives who are struggling with self-doubt and imposter syndrome with what's the solution piece? What's the antidote
Okay,
piece?
I help executives struggling with self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Okay, that's their dilemma, their problem. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And then how do you help them do that?
through coaching? I mean, like, what do you mean
That's
by?
a tool. That's a tool.
Okay.
But do you have a specific process? Do you have a specific system or framework that you use?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
What would you call it?
So the title, you want the title of
I want you to
actual,
make up something. Yes.
purpose-driven executive
Okay.
is,
So I help executives who are plagued by self-doubt and imposter syndrome step into their executive leadership role with confidence using my proprietary executive leadership training program.
oh, okay, using
Okay.
my
So
proprietary-
I mixed up the steps a little bit there. And by the way, I did forget to say that before. You can put them in any order that works for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you an executive who secretly suffers from self-doubt and imposter syndrome? Is it your secret dream to be able to step into any meeting or out onto any platform with confidence and suave and be taken seriously and become the influencer and know you can be? Okay, that's the outcome that they want, but you put it in a question.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
some of the pieces for the outcome specifically I have are, do you want to walk into a room and exude executive presence? Do you want to walk into a room and command respect? And do you want to lead with impact?
Yes,
Like that kind
I
of
would.
thing.
Yes, probably if they're sitting at a Starbucks, they're not saying to their friend, "I just wish I could walk into a room and exude executive presence."
What?
Okay, that's good to know.
So, but they probably are saying, "I just wish I could walk into a room and be taken seriously, have confidence, and have the impact that I want." Those
Yeah.
two that you said were really good.
Yeah. Lead my
You got to do
team.
the Starbucks test. Would they actually be saying that to a friend? No.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so you're on your way there.
Yeah, that's great. That
Through
really
my
helps.
proprietary 6-step leadership development program, I guarantee that you will have the confidence, the presence, and the impact that you crave anytime you speak in any arena.
Okay, that's really good. These are, this is being recorded. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna rewind and then put
Yeah,
all those.
we post them on our YouTube channel. Yep.
Oh, hello, YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, you can go back and get them for sure. Okay,
Great.
now that was such a good example, Kat, of using the formula and mixing it up a little bit. But you could even hammer home a little bit more. Like, you know how people say they put the screwdriver in and turn it to make it a little more painful?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not telling you this to be manipulative. I'm telling you this so that we can really bring to the surface what this pain is causing them. So
Yeah.
are you an executive who secretly suffers from self-doubt and imposter syndrome? Okay, now you got to turn it a little bit.
Yeah.
Does this keep you from speaking up when you have something to offer, even though you know it could make a difference?
Right. Oh.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there is a downfall to their problem. Like someone will say, "Oh, I help people who have anxiety." Okay, well, what problems does the anxiety cause? Okay, so your next step would be, what problems does the self-doubt or imposter syndrome cause? So that you don't really offer your true brilliance in meetings because you're afraid you won't be taken seriously
Right.
or have the impact that you want. So you get passed over for promotions. You want to really turn the screwdriver? You get passed over for promotions, and no one really sees you as a competent team player. You operate under the radar in the shadows, and it doesn't feel good.
Yes.
Would I say all that in the beginning? No. But if you're in a conversation with someone and you can say, "Well, tell me, what's the cost of that? What does that feel like?" Have them tell you. Well, it seems like no one takes me seriously. Oh gosh, I know. That must feel terrible, right? Tell me what else? What else comes up for you? Have them share with you. Because then when you talk about your executive leadership program, can get you out from the shadows, feeling confident and impactful, so that whenever you speak, whenever you have an opportunity to showcase your brilliance, you take it, you seize it, and you become known as an expert, as somebody who can influence decisions. is somebody who can help the company grow, whatever their situation is that they're wanting. Okay.
Right.
But you get
Right.
them to tell you, because now you can say how your program can help them achieve that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're shooting in the dark, which isn't the worst thing to just speak in general terms. But if we're having a conversation with someone and we can get them to speak a little bit more intimately about the cost of that problem or that situation, now when we present our solution and the outcomes that we help create, we can do it in the context of what specifically matters to them.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yes. So good.
Okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
You're welcome. All right, Sarah, I saw that you had your hand up. Did you want to ask something about this, or?
I was going to maybe offer to do a 30-second, but I did want to say I think this is absolutely brilliant, because it's like that first impression thing. If you have a chance to talk to a prospective client and you blow it because you haven't practiced this, that client could be $10,000 client, a $50,000 client. So the importance of practicing this and being ready when opportunity is in front of you. It's just brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We need to practice.
And thank you for saying that, because so often people think they can just wing it, right? And when we wing it, people have that polite but glazed look. People are very polite. They go, "Oh, that's great. Yeah, you're a realtor with Coldwell Banker for 20 years.
You must be very proud.
How does that help me?" Have you sold 1 million houses? Are you an expert in first-time home buyers? Like, who are you? Like, how are you different?
You got to trust me on this.
How are you unique? So anyway, there's a lot we could say about that, but we don't have time today. But here's my hope, is that you will take the formula and practice it. And you know what a great way to practice is, if you don't have a buddy nearby, just get yourself on Zoom, hit record, and just try out a couple of versions and see how they come off, see how they sound, and then go back and listen to yourself. Because how we hear ourselves with the words coming out of our mouth is different than how we hear ourselves on a playback, like how we hear ourselves talking later.
Is that really how I sound?
Oftentimes I will listen to a recording and go, "Ooh, I missed the opportunity to do something here." Or, "Geez, that didn't come out right."
That didn't come out right.
Whatever it may be, right? So practice with yourself on Zoom. No one's there. You don't have to worry about it. And give it a go.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all for coming today. Really, really appreciate it. And I hope you try the formula PAR, problem, antidote, result, because it really will make all the difference in how people hear you and whether they take you seriously as the expert that you are. All right, so I'm going to sign off today. Thank you again, everyone, for coming, and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.